Hello everyone. I'm quite tired tonight and you might hear that in my voice. Usually I freewheel when I talk, but I think it's best if I write it down tonight. There's some important issues to address and I'll get right to it. I'd like to say I'm tired because I've spent a long time trying to get the UCPee to do the right thing. I've written them, spoken, pleaded, and it feels like I'm shouting into the wind. They don't listen, they don't care, and they're going to do whatever they want to do no matter the harm. Now we know that's not justice, that's not governance, and it's certainly not the mark of a good society. They say you can judge a society by how it treats its most vulnerable. Well, if that's true, the sign hanging above the legislature is all for me and none for you. I don't know what drives the UCPee, whether it's indifference, ideology, or just ignorance. And frankly, I don't care anymore. What matters is what they're doing. They judge the disabled Albertans as undeserving, but that judgment doesn't reflect on us. It reflects on them. It takes a special kind of arrogance to look at someone else's struggle and decide they're not worthy of help. It takes a cruel kind of government to abandon the golden rules, being don't judge others and treat people the way you want to be treated. This government seems to have forgotten what the social contract even is. Instead, they play the same old dog-eat-dog game as if that's what leadership looks like. Now, recently we've all got a letter in regard to the Canadian Disability Benefit, and I'd like to address that as well. The UCPee is using a single sentence from the federal regulations to justify clawing back the benefit, and I want to tell people how they got there. The UCPee claims the federal government only meant to raise disability supports up to what seniors get through OAS and GIS, and not a penny more. But that's blatantly misleading. When you take the entire regulation and the intent of the entire regulation, it's obvious that the CDB was meant to complement existing supports and to lift people out of poverty, not to be cancelled out by provincial clawbacks. The reference to OAS and GIS was a benchmark, a floor to be reached, not a ceiling to be imposed. In the draft it said comparable to the OAS and GIS, but it never stated that this was a maximum. And I will point out the OAS and GIS supplement other pensions. So if they're really wanting to compare the OAS and GIS, they should know that it's a supplement for each. The UCPee cherry-picked that one line and turned it into a weapon against Alberta's most vulnerable. The federal government tried to increase supports. The UCPee is using that line as an excuse to reduce it. That's just not a policy disagreement. That's a failure of basic morality. So here's what I'll say. If you qualify, well, even if you don't qualify, apply for the Canadian tax credit. If you get it, apply for the Canadian Disability Benefit. And if enough of us do that, maybe the federal government will be able to do something to counter the UCPee's unjust actions. But my final hope, the one I hold on to, is the UCPee loses the support of this province. And someday soon, a fair, more compassionate government takes its place. Wow, am I tired. Oof. Because Alberta deserves better, and so do all of us. Now, if you have any questions, always feel free to shoot me a DM. I may not address everything because it doesn't occur to me while I'm talking, but I have a fair bit of knowledge on why people do what they do, why governments do what they do, and what the intention is. So like I say, shoot me a line if you need any more info. Have a better night, everyone. Take care of yourselves.